project began with the Chamber and their BGEA committee. They developed a workforce task force to take a look at the workforce issues our region is facing and begin working on what we can do about them. From that, just a month later, Rebecca Ryan from Next Generation Consulting was brought in to speak to the young professionals as well as the community and address the attraction and retention of young, talented adults to our community. And she really motivated us at the EDC as well as other community members to really start taking a hard look at that. And in September of 2009, that's kind of when the Launch Grand Forks project began. The EDC received a Knight Foundation grant of $115,000 to do just what Rebecca Ryan and Next Generation Consulting had said, attract and retain young talent to our region. So we began that with the Launch Grand Forks project. And in January, when the project was completed, Next Generation Consulting gave us some of the findings they found in our community and our workforce issues, as well as some of their recommendations that they think will help us with those issues. And since then, we have really started this workforce initiative and brought together all of the workforce work that had been done over the previous years to put these issues together and develop a strategy and a plan that the EDC and the young professionals, as well as our partners, will begin moving forward from here on out. But before we can talk about the strategies, we need to talk about some of the issues our community and our companies within our community are facing right now when it comes to workforce. And there are three major ones. The first one is obviously workforce is needed. In a praxis strategy study and with the EDC's help, we found that there's a huge lack of people here in their early 30s to early 40s age group. And as you can see on that chart, I know it might be kind of hard for some people to see in the back, but where it's highlighted in red on the bottom, that represents that 30 to 40 age group. And when you look at the national average, we're almost 30% lower when it comes to 30 and 40-year-olds in our community. So those are the mid-career professionals, those are our managers, those are our team leaders, and they're not here. The client companies that the EDC had visited with said they're really missing those key players in their organizations. And not only are they missing them, it's hard for them to attract them to Grand Forks if they look outside of our community because we don't have them. They don't want to come here for some reason. And along with that missing mid-career professional range, they also found that some of the people that are here are lacking training or lacking education. So that's one of the workforce issues that we are dealing with. A second one is the loss of young talent. I know we've heard that quite often, but that same praxis strategy report showed that way high number, that's the 20 to 25-year-olds. Those are all the UND and Northland Community and Technical College students. Obviously, we're very high in that age range because of our university and college. But upon graduation, that number drops almost 108 points to when they turn 30. We lose so many young people. At UND, when you look at their alumni statistics, in the last 10 years, there have been over 24,000 graduates. And right now, there are only less than 3,000 living here in Grand Forks and East Grand Forks. That's only 12% of all the people that have graduated from UND in the last 12 years. So we really are losing a lot of young people. And the final issue is the people that we do have here, we're lacking a lot of community ambassadors. And what that means is in the Next Generation Consulting reports, in their survey, they talk about promoters, neutral, and detractors. So only about 18% of people surveyed were promoters. If you ask them, why do you live in Grand Forks? They say, oh, because it's a great community, they love being here. But the rest of them are either neutral, they don't really care one way or another, or are detractors, where they actually don't want to be here, or they'll say, oh, it's cold, there's nothing to do, things like that. They're actually detractors of our community. And we found that part of the reason that is because some of our young talent really isn't engaged. They're not proud of our city, they're not involved, they're not vested. So we need those young talented leaders to be involved, to be proud, to be committed to Grand Forks. Those are the kind of young talented adults that we want working for our companies, those that are vested, those that will be here for the long run. But we're really missing those ambassadors. So with those three workforce issues, the EDC and our partners have really teamed up with the Young Professionals because the Young Professionals organization, our goal is to target that 20 to 40-year-old. Those are our people, I guess you could say. We're really working with them to develop some strategies on how to solve these problems with the help of our partners.
The number one recommendation that came out of the Launch Grand Forks initiative was to hire a full-time executive director who would wake up every day considering the needs of the young professionals in our community and helping to work on those solutions. Our goal is to have a fully funded and sustainable YP organization, which includes a full-time executive director. And so we'll go over some of our overall initiatives that this person would really wake up thinking about every day. And the first is related to attracting and retaining young talent in our community. One of the comments that came out of NGC's research is that students and other young professionals as well feel like there's a certain stigma about staying in the region after college. But we know that people who are here are loving it here. And so we feel like a marketing campaign that is aimed at changing some of those perceptions and really recruiting people back to the area is a community-wide solution that's achievable. And our research tells us that there are people not so far away who have thought about coming to Grand Forks, and there are people who are mobile. And we feel like we can have some success in that area. In addition, our Young Professionals Organization has drafted a vision document, and we have goals about how we want to make ourselves a more vibrant organization and help meet the needs of our members. And one of our goals is to implement the Next Company Awards, which would highlight YP-friendly organizations throughout our community who are really modeling the way and can help lead others in helping meet the needs for young professionals in our community. The second area that we're focused on is developing skills and experience for our young talent. And through existing efforts in our YP organization and a really outstanding partnership with the Community Foundation, we're currently working on training our young professionals and encouraging them to raise their hands for leadership positions on boards and other committees within our community. And our partnerships with the established professionals in our community are absolutely critical. We hope to create a bank of established professionals who are willing to serve as mentors and partners for either individual YPs or for our organization as a whole. We've already seen some success with this type of thing through the executive briefing series, which has allowed YPs to hear about industry trends or leadership philosophies of some of the EPs in our community. And we really feel like we will only be a benefit for our community if the EPs and YPs are at the table together and learning from each other. And then finally, we're focused on connecting and engaging the YPs in our community. And so just like we want to create the strong partnerships between the established professionals and young professionals, the same is true with our student population. And this fall, we're launching a three-way mentorship program between UND students, young professionals, and established professionals. We think there's some really powerful conversations that can come out of that. We know that college students who get involved in the community are more likely to stay here after they graduate, and Michaela and I can give you our own testimonials about how that works. And YP is an organization that wants to be the best at welcoming people to our community. So one of the things that we feel we can do is to serve our community by showcasing Grand Forks to people who are being recruited to come and work for the companies within our region, and that's the Warming Up to Grand Forks program. And then also by doing an exceptional job of welcoming and connecting those who are new to our community. So as a result, we feel like we'll be able to help them establish their roots more quickly, and they'll love our community just as much as we do. So really with a fully funded, sustainable YP organization with full-time executive director, we believe that Grand Forks will be better positioned to help attract and retain young professionals in our community. But as with any nonprofit organization, we need time, talent, and treasure. And we hope that you'll consider the needs of our community, the things that have been presented here, and think about ways that you can be involved with that. And again, so much appreciation to those people who've already been involved and who've helped to move us to the point where we are so far. But we feel like the real measure of success will be when the established professionals in our community feel that the next generation is fully equipped to be able to carry that baton of leadership forward.